And welcome to the Raleigh County Convention Center. Tonight, Video Productions presents Region 3, Section 2 title game between the Princeton Tigers 11-11 and the Beckley Flying Eagles 13-9. Hello again, everybody. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas. We got AB, Andrew Boland, producing and directing tonight. Jackie Moon on camera. And Eric, even though this is not an elimination game, I'm sure both teams will treat it as it's an elimination game.
Yeah, and especially Beckley. If this is a win and kind of stay-home game, you don't want to lose this game tonight. If you're Beckley, you can stay home and host next week with a chance to go to Charleston.
For the viewers that are not familiar with the format, the other part of this Region 3 in Section 1 tonight, it'll be South Charleston at George Washington. The winner of this game will play the loser of that game, and then vice versa. The loser of that game will play the winner of this game. Of course, the two winners will have home court advantage. That will happen next Thursday. Then the winners of those two games will punch their ticket to the state tournament, if you are not familiar of how the format is here in West Virginia.
Yeah, and I think that format is the best way to narrow it down to the best 8 teams, because once you get to this point, everyone is good, and I mean, you just have to play to get there. You have to win 2 to get to Charleston.
I would agree with that. This will be the third game between these two teams this season. Before we touch on that, let me tell you how they got here. Beckley, and playing some of their best basketball, Beckley's won 5 of their last 6 games. They beat Oak Hill on Tuesday night in an elimination game on this floor, 72-43. Princeton also, Eric, playing their best basketball. They've won 5 of 7. They beat Greenbrier East at home 63-46. But, you know, Princeton has played, this will probably be like their 8th or 9th game here, because if you remember in the early part of the season, you and I had an opportunity to cover Princeton. They played in the little general event. They also played in the New River event. They've played Beckley here. So they've been here, and they're very familiar with this building.
Yeah, very familiar with this venue, and you're right about Princeton being, a hot team come tournament time, because they have a win over a few teams in the section, and they're playing their best basketball. And I had a chance to go down the last game against Beckley. They end up losing by 2, but they led that game by 10 points or more twice during the game.
And speaking of those games, the first game you and I had here on Video Productions, that was back on January 11th. And, Eric, that seems like forever ago. Beckley won that game big, 66-33. But as you mentioned, the game that you talked about just about a month later, February the 10th, it was a 2-point Beckley win, 65-63.
Yeah, and it came down the last possessions of the contest. And tonight, if you're Princeton, if you can bottle that up and try to get over the hump, because they played well enough to win that game.
A lot of the crowd continuing to come in as we see a lot of blue from Princeton, a lot of maroon from Beckley. We think we'll have a big crowd. We'll tip this game off at the bottom of the hour. We'll take our first commercial break. We'll be right back and get you ready for Region 3, Section 2 championship game between Princeton and Beckley coming up next on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 2723 Old Bluefield Road in Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
At Access Health, we believe there's a difference between care and caring. We know you by name, and our 26 locations keep you healthy so that you can do the things that truly matter.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
I want my clients to believe that they've experienced fairness. Then finally, I want them to know that they got a friend. I'm not in the business of running off business, but I'm in the business of being honest.
At the end of the day and at the end of the case, I want the client to know that they didn't leave anything on the table, to feel without doubt that they made the right decision to hire this firm.
City National Bank, where you can purchase or refinance your home with the no down payment Champion Mortgage. No down payment, no private mortgage insurance, no kidding. Visit your local branch to get started today. City National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. To learn more, log on to mortgage.bankatcity.com.
Take care of this by the end of the day.
Sure, I'll take care of that. Done.
It's that easy with compliance.
And we welcome you back to the Raleigh County Convention Center with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry, getting you ready for this Region 3 Section 2 game between the Princeton Tigers 11-11, Beckley 13-9. And, you know, Eric, the one thing that I think one of the main reasons Beckley, especially as of late, like as we talked about in a previous segment, they've won 5 of the last 6 games. But I think it's been the full court pressure, the way they've been able to speed up their opponents.
Yeah, and they've done a good job, of pressing and not fouling early on and really getting into their offense just because, their defense, because their offense has been a lot better, making shots and being able to get into their offense.
The one thing, too, about this Princeton team, they are a senior-laden team. Out of their 5 starters, 4 of them are seniors, and the junior is obviously he's played a lot over the last couple of years. So it's a very well experienced Princeton team.
Well, and it's a lot of the players that beat Beckley last year to eliminate them. So they're familiar, and as we stated in the previous Beckley game, they came here 2 years ago and eliminated Beckley. Sent them on the road, so to speak. So I think this Princeton team is more than capable of coming here and winning.
So, Eric, you're right. Princeton has eliminated Beckley each of the last 2 seasons, 2 years ago here, last year at Princeton.
Yeah, and Beckley's well aware of that, I'm sure.
So before we go to break, I want to let you know that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Frobel for Judge. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Michael Frobel, candidate for circuit judge in the second, not division, but what is it? District, there we go. As Michael's a proud supporter of student athletes in Raleigh County. We'll take a break. Be right back here on Video Productions.
2 decades, we have brightened your homes and lives with our quality windows, siding, and doors.
You've watched us grow.
And a lot has changed in 20 years.
But Window World's commitment to our customers and community continues and has never changed.
Our quality products have never changed. We're still America's #1 leader in exterior home remodeling, and that makes us proud.
Window World of Beckley would like to thank you, our customer and friends.
Without you, we wouldn't be us.
We won't raise your rates just because of an accident. Sure, everyone thinks they're a good driver. But when an accident happens, with Allstate, you don't have to worry, even if it's your fault. It's called accident forgiveness, and it starts the day you sign up. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, my name's Paige, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the crispiness of the breading and the tenderness of the filet. It's tasty, it's warm, it's total satisfaction.
Hi, this is Tanya, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is that warm bun, the perfectly seasoned chicken, and that pickle. Woo! I love it. There's a taste of my childhood in every bite.
Dependability isn't a piece of hardware. It's peace of mind. It's the confidence you get from knowing that every time you get behind the wheel, you're in a vehicle that's capable and reliable. Dependability isn't driving just any brand. It's driving the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
You have a goal.
You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Here we grow again. Pioneer Community Bank is proud to offer a network of banks right here in our communities. By offering you more locations, Pioneer continues to meet all your banking needs where you are. Please stop by our New Harper Road location. We are truly investing in Southern West Virginia. Pioneer Community Bank. Friendly service, great products. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we welcome you back to the Raleigh County Convention Center as we get you ready for this Region 3, Section 2 title game in Class 4A between Princeton 11-11, Beckley 13-9. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal Company offers a no-premium, no-deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer a company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. You can apply for a job at Infinity Coal Company, or you can go online to their Facebook page at United Coal Company, or you can pick up a application at the Guard Shack located on Independence Road in Sophia, West Virginia. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Leisure Lanes. They're now hiring both for full and part-time jobs. And you can give Leisure Lanes call Mary at 304-253-7328 to see what jobs they have available. With Eric Thomas, I'm Maris Lowry, Andrew Boland producing and directing, Jackie Moon on camera. And Eric, as we talked about in our last segment, even though this is not an elimination game, no team wants to have to go on the road Thursday, and the loser of this game is either going to have to go to George Washington and South Charleston, and both of those teams are really good. They're really good teams, but they're really good at home.
So we'll name this the win and stay home game.
Yes,
like
the win and stay home.
The win and stay home game.
That's
not
right.
Win and go home. But you're exactly right. If you're going to play a team of that caliber, you want them to come in your building. I mean, that doesn't guarantee you a win, but I think you feel better playing at home. Like, I'd rather watch TV on my couch as opposed to someone else's couch, you know?
I would even rather watch TV at your place than I would a lot of other places, which I do often. But here's another thing, too, Eric, and I know that when you get into the postseason, you can throw a lot of things away from the, from the regular season. But when you look at Beckley's record, and Princeton did not play South Charleston or George Washington. If you look at Beckley's record, they are 0-3. They were 0-2 against George Washington, 0-1. Now, I know it was way back in December when they played South Charleston.
But that still factors in.
It does factor in. And Elijah Redfern did not play in that 2-point loss. And Beckley had a lead going into the fourth quarter and couldn't hang on down at South Charleston.
They had a 4-point lead, right? Going to 6-point lead. And it was erased just like that. And something that you can't have happen on the road.
Well, what happened was without Elijah Redfern, Beckley turned the ball over 4 straight times, and that 6-point lead went to a 2-point deficit. South Charleston scored 8 points before you could blink an eye.
Yeah, and then it still came down to one possession late in the game where South Charleston was able to score and then got a couple free throws. Matter of fact, Beckley had a chance to tie the game.
That's correct.
With the last shot.
Right. And another thing, too, you and I did the Beckley-George Washington game here, and it ended up even though Beckley got a late bucket, it was 5, it ended up a 3-point game.
Yes.
And Beckley had a chance to win that game, but in this streak where Beckley has won 5 of their last 6, that one loss was George Washington. Yep. That game at George Washington wasn't close.
And it was a bad-looking loss. I went to that, I think you and I talked, and I said, hey, they want to not even want to look at that film. That's one of those you just get out of your system and get back to what you do.
But I do think Beckley's a different team from that loss to George Washington, who they are now. Just like I will say Princeton getting beat by Beckley 66-33 on January 11th is a way different team tonight than they were way back then.
Yes, they are. And I mean, a lot of different parts for both of these teams are playing a lot better, And I think Beckley on a whole, when I went down and saw Princeton, they took it showed me a little moxie because Princeton jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Beckley was able to battle back and be down a few points to start the second quarter, and then Princeton went on an 8-0. So that was 18-0 run in between them winning that game that they were able to weather.
And, Eric, before we take our final break and get you ready for the tip here at the bottom of the hour, the one thing to say about this Beckley team, that during this streak of winning 5 of 6, they've been able to start really good. They've had really good first quarters. In fact, the win Tuesday night against Oak Hill, the win against Capital on Friday, and Parkersburg South last Thursday, Beckley had 20 or more points in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and I went back and looked in those 3 games. They had two or more 20-point quarters in both of those games, and all 3 of those games.
Yeah.
So anytime you can, one was a 28-point quarter.
And, Beckley has hit 70 or more in five times this season, and 4 of those times have come here in this stretch.
Yeah, and that's winning basketball and winning ingredient mixed in with the way they've defended. And I think that's the key to anything. And all coaches at this juncture in the season would say that they'd rather be a defensive team than an offensive team, because if you can get stops, you can make shots.
Well, that's what I said. Beckley's defense will take them, as far as Beckley will go, it'll be because of their defense. We'll take one final break, get you ready for the opening tip. It'll be Princeton 11-11 against Beckley 13-9. Coming up on Video Productions.
Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall, with 2 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley and 8762 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Dutch Miller's Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes. A winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Compliance helped me lose 50 pounds by freeing up tasks like payroll, HR, and bookkeeping. I'm now free to do what I want.
With compliance, you can do what you want to do. Compliance, we've got your back office.
As a former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
I started this bandwagon. Everybody jumped on. Try to serve me, you're about to get dunked on. That was freestyle, fellas.
Love it. We just have a different sound.
2 words, Dunking's iced coffee.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
And we welcome you back to the Raleigh County Convention Center. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel, the country store with locations in Beckley and Princeton. Some delicious food. Love me some pig from Cracker Barrel. Also, the game tonight brought to you in part by Modley's Plumbing and Heating. The only number you need to know when you have a plumbing problem is 304-253-HELP. Well, Eric, I think right now, as Beckley's back out on the floor going through their warm-ups, Princeton yet to come out. I think as a player and a coach, this is probably the most nervous you are, the anticipation of the start of the game here in the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, just anticipating, just trying to go through your head how it's going to play out. But when that ball goes in the air, everything is everything. You know, they're ready to go, and I'm excited for both of these teams, you know, to get after it. And, Beckley has to have a little fire and a little chip on their shoulder about it, the way Princeton has handled them in the postseason the last 2 years.
That's right. And, Eric, as I look around the building, it looks to be really close. There are a lot of blue in the building and a lot of maroon. Of course, you expect a lot of maroon, this being Beckley's home court. But, Princeton being only 40 miles away, they've well showed out here to support their Tigers.
Yeah, it's an easy trip down up 77 to get here to Beckley. And as you stated, they feel now that they've played so many games in this building and won in this building. It took them a long time to win, on the regular in this building, and Princeton has done that as of late.
One of the things, as I look at Princeton's roster, Markel Lowe will come off the Princeton bench, and he played a big part in Princeton making, now this is 4A, but when they played football it was 3A, and now everything's moved to 4A. But Princeton was runner-up in the football championship in Class AAA, the first time they ever had made the state title game in football. And Markel Lowe, who comes off the bench for Princeton, he was a big part of that. And even though I know it's a different sport, football to basketball, I think whenever you play in postseason play and it's big time from one sport, I think it does carry over in the other.
Oh, definitely is a carryover effect, and I'm all for kids playing multiple sports because I think it does help, you in the other sport.
So there's the warning buzzer. We're going to have the playing of the national anthem and the player introductions as well. I guess it got to run down about another 45 seconds, even though the horn went off. Maybe the horn went off a little early, Eric. Maybe they're getting really anxious here in the building, right?
Maybe that's the first warning horn.
Yeah. Well, here in about 30 seconds, we'll have that. One of the things that I can let you know that Jalen Walton is going to start. He hasn't practiced in the last couple of days. He turned his ankle on Wednesday. He did not practice Thursday. He did not partake in the shoot-around this afternoon that Beckley had. Assistant coach Eric Dillon let me know that. But they said it was a game-time decision. Didn't think he was going to start. They thought that Drew Fitzwater was going to get the start. But here, before we came on the air, assistant coach Eric Dillon came over and said, no, Walton's ready to go. He's in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I think he was probably getting some treatment and making sure that ankle was good to go, and probably ran some tests and see how mobile he was, and he's ready to start.
Well, you got to think a game this big, unless you can't walk, you're going to play. All right, to get ready for the national anthem, we'll take a break, come back, get to the starting lineups, and get Region 3, Section 2 championship game started. And we'll do that on the other end of the break here on Video Productions.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton. Or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
For 2 decades, we have brightened your homes and lives with our quality windows, siding, and doors.
You've watched us grow.
And a lot has changed in 20 years.
But Window World's commitment to our customers and community continues and has never changed.
Our quality products have never changed. We're still America's #1 leader in exterior home remodeling, and that makes us proud.
Window World of Beckley would like to thank you, our customer and friends.
Without you, we wouldn't be us.
And we welcome you back to the Raleigh County Convention Center with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry, Andrew Boland producing and directing. That's AB. As Princeton being introduced, Princeton under veteran head coach Rob Williams. This is how the Tigers will go, Eric. It'll be Nick Fleming. And really, I think for Princeton, if they're to pull an upset, I think Princeton's got to have a big game from Nick Fleming.
Yeah, and he's more than capable offensively to give the Beckley Flying Eagles a lot of trouble. He does it inside and out.
Also, it'll be Gavin Stover. It'll be Gavin Brown. It'll be Brent Beasley, and it'll be Coden's Sarton. And Sarton seems like he's been there forever, doesn't he?
Yeah, yep, he's been.
So for Beckley, under veteran head coach Ron Kidd, they'll go the way they've been going. It'll be Kobe Dillon, Elijah Redfern, Zion Hawthorne, Preston Clary, and Jalen Walton. Princeton will be wearing the traveling blue uniforms trimmed in white and black. Beckley wearing the home white uniforms, white trimmed in maroon. The crowd seems at fever pitch. You know, this is why you want to play, Eric. This is why we love doing what we do as broadcasters. This is why you want to coach. This is why you want to play.
Yeah, March 1st, let the madness begin, because tonight is one more step closer for either one of these teams to getting to the ultimate goal, and that's the state tournament.
Right. The girls' state basketball tournament will begin on Tuesday. The boys' state tournament will begin a week from Tuesday on March the 12th. And for these two teams, one of them hope they are there. But no matter what happens tonight, one of these or one of these teams, well, both these teams will still have a shot. But even if you lose this game tonight, you're still not eliminated.
Yeah, you're not eliminated. That's the beauty of the two co-regionals. And I love that system. And I think whoever, though, wins this game tonight will have a little more pep in their step.
Well, Eric, they give us the game ball.
Let me
you
see
got to
it.
touch it. No, I know you're going to shoot it. Eric's going to shoot it because the official's like, please don't give it to Eric, because then we'd never get it back. Because he'd be shooting, and then after he missed the first 15, he's like, wait a minute, I got to make it. Then he'd be looking at his hand. Well, the reason he bricked up 15 shots.
That's correct. It's all about the hand.
So we are ready to roll. Also, while we got a minute, we want to give a nice shout-out to a loyal viewer down in Orlando, Florida from Princeton. Matt McNish is watching us on Video Productions. We appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in here tonight on Video Productions. All right, it'll be Fleming and Walton in the center circle, and we are ready to go. Region 3, Section 2, Class 4A title game. Ball's in the air. The tip is controlled by Princeton, and they'll have first opportunity. Hard take to the basket. Good coverage by Beckley, but a nice shot on a little fall away by Beasley. And Princeton scores first.
And just what you needed. That'll get the nerves and the rust knocked off of you real quick, scoring first.
Princeton back in the zone now, Eric.
But guarantee you that zone is going to concentrate on the wings and wherever 10 is.
Which is Kobe Dillon. Yeah. And there's Kobe Dillon. Three ball. Good! Right on cue as Kobe Dillon delivers a three. Here's a 15-footer. Good. Back-to-back buckets by Beasley.
Beasley came to play, and that's what you need. Firing out the gate. And Beasley almost came up with the steal.
So we take a look at Kobe Dillon, and he is shooting. We're going to find out his he's shooting 45% from downtown. That's amazing. I know the majority of Kobe Dillon's shots come from behind the arc, but when you can knock them down at a 45% clip, pretty good. Redfern tacks the basket, draws the foul, and he makes the hoop.
What a roll.
The ball hung on the basket and then goes for him. So count the basket, and Redfern will try to polish off a three-point play.
Yeah, I thought that had zero chance of going in, and what a bounce right here if we can see it on the Access Health instant replay, man. So, as you said, absorb the contact and got a little home English going in.
Redfern is an 84% free throw shooter. First free throw on its way is good, and he does polish off the three-point play. And now Beckley can set up full court pressure, which has been very effective over their last several games. And we got a turnover. As soon as I say that, the Beckley pressure forces a Princeton turnover.
Yeah, and that's why you got to make shots if you're Beckley, because you're able to get into that pressure and force a turnover.
And not only does when Beckley gets into that pressure, do they turn you over, but they force you to play way faster than most teams want to play. Redfern to the head of the lane. Kobe Dillon open, will dial it up for three. Looks good and is. Just like that, you get a three-point play the old-fashioned way from Redfern, and then you get it's a turnover, and then you get a three ball by Kobe Dillon. And now another turnover, back-to-back turnovers for the Beckley defense.
Yeah, that was great hands by Elijah Redfern as he was able to get his hand in the cookie jar without getting caught right there. And played through. Princeton tried to play through the contact and went off the knee.
So Beckley with the early momentum. They've scored 6 in a row. Big crowd on hand here tonight. Glad you're with us on Video Productions. We'll go for a pick and roll. Walton had it. Ball knocked free, but Dillon able to run it down.
Oh, they missed. Dillon missed Walton wide open in the post.
Hawthorne on the drive into the lane. Tough shot, fall away, short. Battle for the loose ball. Dillon has it. And Beckley has another possession. Good hustle by Kobe Dillon. Clary for three. Got it. And Princeton wants a 30-second timeout, a 9-0 run. So, Eric, you have a three ball, then you have a three-point play the old-fashioned way, and then another three ball.
Hey, 3 threes, and we're going to look here on the great dish by Elijah Redfern. If you find the spot, he'll get you, and that's what you needed if you're Beckley to answer Princeton's early punch, and Beckley came right back.
Well, we got a minute. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Frobel for Judge. Michael Frobel, candidate for circuit judge in the 2nd Division. Michael is a proud supporter of student athletes in Raleigh County, and he would like to serve you as a circuit judge. So out of the timeout, and a good timeout for Princeton, because one thing, Eric, Princeton's got to be able to try to hang in there early in the game.
Yeah, you got to weather this storm, so to speak. And if you're Beckley, you like a shark with the blood in the water, you're really trying to get after him, and this pressure is really giving Princeton fits right now.
So Beckley currently on a 9-0 run. You don't want your big guy getting trapped right where he got trapped at midcourt, and there's a Beckley foul, and that's a good call.
Yeah, that is a good call. Elijah Redfern got his hand on the ball, but as they was going to get it, he pushed him.
Yeah, but the thing about it, like I said, you never want anybody, but especially one of your bigs, to pull the ball up right there at half court and get trapped, and Beckley bailed Princeton out by committing a foul.
Yeah, I was going to say Princeton was fortunate they got bailed out. That was almost a turnover.
There's a mismatch inside. Princeton goes to it, and they score as they got Dillon, and a good job that time by Princeton's guys. Sarton able to back him down low and able to turn around, shoot, and score.
Yeah, they'll take that switch anytime if you're Princeton.
And that breaks a 9-0 Beckley run. Redfern for 3. Hits.
4 3-pointers in the first quarter. If you're Beckley, you don't want to fall in love with that shot, but as wide open as they are.
Fleming's 3 is short. Battle for the rebound. Princeton has an offensive rebound. They have another crack at it. Here's a 3. Good. The 3 by Stover. We might get flooded, Eric, all this raining threes.
Hey, good offensive rebound right there.
Kobe Dillon back for 3 is good. Right down the chute for Kobe Dillon. Beckley's doubled him up. Sarton will dial it up for 3. That doesn't go, and I'm not sure that's the shot Princeton wants. And this is what I'm talking about, Eric. Beckley really speeds you up. Redfern on the catch, can't finish, and then a foul on Clary. Well, what do we got? I think they're going to call offensive basket interference.
Who are they going to call it?
I think they're going to call it on Beckley, that they're going to say maybe Redfern was in the cylinder. We'll have to watch the replay. So if that's the case.
We didn't get the replay on that one. I don't know.
That's what they're going to call. But if that's the case, then it won't be a foul on Clary.
It bails out Clary with the foul.
Right, it'll just be Princeton's ball. They're going to call offensive basket interference. They're going to say that Redfern was in the cylinder, and the indication that the referee, Greg Fournette, gave, that's what that means. So the officials are having a discussion now, but I think that's going to be the case. Yes. They're going to say his hand was in the cylinder, and it's an offensive basket interference. Therefore, it's not a foul on Clary. So Coach Williams, was really complaining about it, but he gets the ball, and I'm not sure he'd rather have the foul.
Wait a minute, did they award him the points?
They've got the points up there. I don't know how they can count the basket. Maybe that's what Williams is complaining about. I don't get it. They're going to count the basket. So it could not have been offensive basket interference. And once again, Beckley's got a 20-point first quarter. And we still got 4:25 remaining in it. So I can see now why Coach Williams was upset. We'll get one of the officials here at the end of the quarter. Fleming on the baseline, attacks the basket, and throws the ball back out down the lane. Fleming strong to the hoop, and
that's where he's at his best right there. I know he can shoot the 3, but I think his offensive game where he can really use that body and get to the bucket.
Yeah, off the glass is Fleming. Here's Clary for a 3. It doesn't go. Walton skies high for the offensive rebound, and the putback is good.
That was another man rebound by Walton as he cleaned the glass up right off the Clary miss.
Yeah, this is just not Princeton's pace. They force a quick shot. Deep 3 for Redford. Nope, he thought about it. And now Beckley will set up their offense. 3.5 to go, opening quarter. Clary on the drive, puts it up, won't go. Walton with the rebound. They strip him, and Princeton's on the move. Here's Stover with it. Another three for Princeton. It doesn't go. Offensive rebound by Sarton, and it's on the floor, so the basket won't count.
That'll be on Zion Hawthorne. And Beckley, the pace of the game is in their favor, but one thing they haven't been able to do is get good defensive rebounds, and you can't give those up, those second-chance shots.
But they have forced Princeton, when Princeton breaks pressure, just to pull up and shoot a quick shot. Sarton will dial it up for three. It's an air ball. Clary with the rebound. See, that's a real quick shot even out of the inbounds play.
Yeah, and I think Beckley will take Sarton shooting that all day.
Hawthorne wide open for three, and he drains it from the corner.
Hawthorne said it's a three-point party, and I wanted to be invited.
Well, he is, or if not, he's just crashing the party as he hits that three ball. But Beckley's defense has been really good. Here's Brown into the lane, and he'll draw the foul and get to the line as Clary will commit the foul.
Yeah, and we're going to look at this last three ball by Zion Hawthorne right here. And once again, off the great assist by Elijah Redfern, and Hawthorne was deliberate when he caught it and knew what he wanted to do and knocked it down.
And as good as Beckley has shot the three in this first quarter, and they've got 25 with 2:48 left in it, and they've made 6 threes, you know you can't continue to shoot like that as Brown will get to the line to shoot a pair, and the first one's no good. But what it has done is really got Princeton trying to maybe back at you by Princeton coming up quick and shooting threes.
And that's what happens, and coaches know it. That's what happens once you let a team get out to a lead, as Brown gets the shooter's roll right there. You have to try to match that intensity, but you can't get all these points back at one time.
Redfern to the rim, puts up the shot, it doesn't go. Princeton comes out of there with Sarton with the rebound. Here's a three from the near corner, doesn't go. Once again, a quick shot, that time by Beasley. Battle for the rebound, it'll go off of Beckley. It'll stay with Princeton with 2.5 to go in the opening quarter.
Once again, Walton had a rebound, but not able to really get it, and Princeton gets another chance.
Beckley's biggest lead has been 14 in this first quarter. Princeton having a hard time getting in. They do to Sarton. He'll drive into the lane, a reverse shot, a tough shot.
Beautiful shot.
And a nice shot by Sarton off the glass.
And that's 4 points for Sarton right there. Nice reverse layup.
So Princeton's been able to put back-to-back hoops together. And like you said, Eric, they're not going to be able to cut into Beckley's lead all at once. They've got to get stops, though. As Redfern leans in, little short shot. He left it short, and Fleming clears the rebound for Princeton.
I think he was so wide open, he just –
Fleming on the drive. He left it short, got the offensive rebound, put it back up and in. Princeton now scored 6 in a row.
Yeah, all these guys have come to play tonight. Don't you just love the intensity of the game?
Well, it's at a different level, tournament basketball. Hawthorne on the drive, lays it up and in. I'm sure this is the best quarter Beckley's had all year, a 27-point quarter.
Princeton was fortunate with that pass.
And there's a three ball good by Brown. Boy, both teams shooting it well. But still, this definitely favors Beckley, this high scoring, the pace of this game. Redfern. Hawthorne will dial it up for three. It won't go. Battle for the rebound. Walton's shot is blocked. And they're going to call a jump ball. That's a good defensive play by Sarton, but it'll stay with Beckley as Fitzwater will check in and King will check in. So Beckley's coming with two bigs.
Yeah, but one thing, they're going to give Walton a blow. I know he's a game-time decision, but he has really been a man on the glass for him. And the bigs that are coming in, they have a lot to live up to as the way Jalen Walton has been on the glass.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Eric. You put two bigs in to replace one.
Well, he's been playing like two, right. Early in this contest.
They got Kobe Dillon trapped in the corner, and he throws it to nobody. That was good defense by Princeton because that's the one place when the ball goes in the corner, Princeton realized that and put the trap on Kobe Dillon.
And don't look now, if you're Princeton, you're right back in it, with the way you played the last 2 minutes of this quarter.
So coming up on the final minute of quarter number one, that's near a Beckley foul, a lot of contact. New player into the ball game for Princeton. Markel Lowe is an outstanding football player. In fact, Eric, in my opinion, he was the best football player I saw all this past season.
We were just thinking that. I mean,
Sarton shot is short.
The way he ran the ball.
But Fleming with the rebound. Now Ken Lowe, he can't dial it up for three. It's Sarton with an offensive rebound and a foul on Fitzwater. Fitzwater got the block, but he got him with his body. It's clearly a foul. Yeah, clearly a foul. So with 27.3 left in the quarter, Sarton's going to go to the line to kind of chip into Beckley's lead.
And that's 4 fouls in the quarter, which won't affect Beckley because I don't think this could be the last possession coming up, but we know how that goes.
Well, right now Princeton is on as the first free throw is no good. Princeton's on an 8-2 run right now. Beckley's biggest lead has been 14. Sarton, can he hit the back end? He does. He makes 1 of 2, and he trims the lead. He cut the lead in half now, Eric. It was 14. It's been trimmed to 7. And if you're Beckley,
9-2 run.
I think you would hold it for the final shot of the quarter.
Yeah, because even after that 9-2 run, you build enough cushion to go into this second quarter with the lead, comfortable lead.
We're under 10 for the quarter. Redfern shaking and baking. Gets into the lane, tacks the basket. He's stripped. That's a good defensive play for Princeton. And Beckley will have 4.5 seconds to work with here before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, plenty of time to get a shot off here. Let's see what they run out of this out-of-bounds play.
They get the ball to Hawthorne. He's going to have to get a shot off as he drives to the basket, puts up the shot, and he got it ahead of the buzzer. What a great first quarter for Beckley. Perhaps their best quarter of the year at the end of one. It's Beckley 29, Princeton 20. We'll be right back here on Video Productions. Great.
Dependability isn't a piece of hardware. It's peace of mind. It's the confidence you get from knowing that every time you get behind the wheel, you're in a vehicle that's capable and reliable. Dependability isn't driving just any brand. It's driving the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Kia, movement that inspires.
I started this bandwagon. Everybody jumped on. Try to serve me, you're about to get dunked on. That was freestyle, fellas.
Love it. We just have a different sound.
2 words, Dunking's iced coffee.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
Ready to go to the second quarter. Second quarter is brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones, your financial advisor. You can call up Heather Cantley at 304-254-9995. Princeton will have the first possession of the second quarter, down 9. Fleming down low. The ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Princeton. But Eric, in between quarters, had a chance to talk to Greg Fournette, and on that play where we thought it was offensive basket interference is actually goaltending on Princeton because they hit the net while the ball was on the rim.
Yeah, and he said that the rule book clearly states that you can't, as Ken Sarton knocks down another one, having a hot shooting night. Can't touch the net with the ball on the rim.
So here's Redfern. So the lead has been cut in half. Beckley led by as many as 14, been trimmed to 7 now. Hawthorne open for 3, doesn't go. Rebound by Fitzwater, and it's swatted away by Fleming. Sarton starting to really heat up. Sarton and Fleming are 2 most experienced players for Princeton.
And that's why you can tell this is a veteran team. They didn't blink being down 14 and playing a little 2-man game as Elijah Redfern gets a steal.
That was a great defensive play. Good help. Here's Fitzwater. Redfern steps in, 15-footer, doesn't go. Fleming skies for the Princeton rebound.
And Princeton now has settled back down into their pace.
Yeah.
And the reason being is Beckley has not been able to make a shot and really get into that pressure.
Sarton with a mid-range shot, and he knocks it down. Princeton's come storming back, cut the lead to 5. Here's Hawthorne on the other end. Redfern on the trail, dials it up for 3. Hits! Right down the chute for Elijah Redfern.
And now Beckley is backed out of that full court pressure. Probably just going to use it in spots.
Here's a shot down low, partially blocked. You know, Eric, I had Princeton for 24. They've got him for 25. The shot before Sarton must have been a 3. As Hawthorne will dial it up and hit a 3. The lead back to double digits. A 10-point game, 35-25. Markel Lowe has it taken away. Kobe Dillon with it. Dillon for 3. Doesn't go. Lowe had it, and the ball is knocked out by King.
Yeah, we'll see this trend. This last 3 here. The Access Health Instant Replay is a great look by Elijah Redfern. And you know what I like about the shooters? They know where to go from Beckley. They know that Elijah Redfern will find them if you find that zone, soft spot in the zone. And
I think it should be 35-24. That might be what they're discussing, because I looked at my sheet, Eric. Princeton had a shot that made it was 29-20 to start the quarter, went 29-22. They had another mid-range shot, made it should be 29-24.
He scored 4 points in the quarter. It's
right.
29-24.
It should be 35
right. to 24.
And I think they have them with 25. It should be 24.
It's 24.
That's what I thought, and they're addressing that now. And the officials, let's see if they're going to change it, because they're discussing whether that's a 2 or a 3.
It was a 2 over here.
Right. Both of them were a 2. The score should be 35-24.
Exactly right.
And the score shows 35-25. You know, I keep a running score. You keep individual totals, but your individual totals and my running score match.
Yeah, exactly, because at the end of the quarter, I had it 29-20.
That's what it was. And Princeton made 2 mid-range shots.
And then both by Sarton. And I said he's heating up. They're 2-point goals.
But I'm not sure if they're going to correct it. And apparently they are not. So it's going to go as 35-25, but I do think Princeton got the benefit of getting an extra point there.
Yeah, I'm going to put it
So we'll have to make a note of that as here comes Princeton racing the ball up the floor. Fleming on the drive, gets to the rim, lays it up off the glass, up and in.
6 points for Fleming, and Ken Sarton and Fleming are keeping Princeton right in it.
Nick Fleming, the 6'2 senior, team's leader. Princeton back in the zone. Clary attacks the zone down the middle, puts the short shot up, and it goes.
And Preston Clary, his game has really improved. He's really attacking more and taking what the defense gives him. And if he can keep that up, this makes this a dangerous Beckley team.
Yeah, he's become like the X factor, their unsung guy that, you know, when you think about all the other guys Beckley has, Clary's name never comes up.
Yes.
But his play shows you better defend him.
Hey, he's been good on the glass, and he's been shooting the 3 well, and but he's gaining confidence.
Here's Sarton with it. Markel Lowe gets into the lane. Sarton's good down low. They double team him. Tough shot off the glass, and he scores. What a nice play by Sarton. Sarton, a 6'2 senior.
11 points out of the 29 for Sarton.
And then you got 6 more from Fleming, so they're making up the biggest part of the Princeton offense. Hawthorne got away with a walk. Kobe Dillon will dial it up from distance, and not even close. That time he looked like he was, I know he can make that shot, but he looked a little uncomfortable and a little further out on that one. So Princeton throws it away, or do they? It's out of bounds. Which way? It is a turnover.
I guess Gavin Stover may have touched it while he was out of bounds, standing out of bounds.
It hit his knee right here in front of us, yes. So coming up on
I'm going to tell you this. That 1 point's going to bug me.
Well, it may come into play. We'll see as we're under the halfway point of the first half here in the second quarter. And the game has slowed down. Hawthorne on a drive into the lane. They cut him off. Redfern will dial it up for 3. Got it! Elijah Redfern's on fire as he rains another 3. You know, if you're Princeton, Eric, I don't know what you do. Beckley, the way they've shot the ball in this first half.
And that's 3 threes apiece from Elijah Redfern and Kobe Dillon. And Zion Hawthorne has 2.
Right, so you're talking about 8 threes that Beckley's made. Good defense.
Preston
And what do we got? We've got a held ball. The arrow will turn it over to Beckley.
And if you look at this, we're going to see this on the instant replay here. Another good penetration and dish. And you know what I like about that shot is when he caught it, his feet was set.
Yeah, he
ready to
up
shoot it. He didn't think about it. He shot it.
So Beckley's led by as many as 14 as the lead's 11 as Redfern goes to the basket. He lost the ball, and Walton able to put it back in. Long pass right in the hands of Markel Lowe, and he'll draw the foul. And, Eric, we got 2:54 left in the second quarter, and that's our first foul in this quarter.
But that's big. That's the second foul on Elijah Redfern. So first foul, but a big one on Redfern. You know what's wild about that? It was that close to being a steal and turns into a foul.
And here's the thing, Eric, and that's what I was ready to say, is they bring in Drew Fitzwater. With 2:54 left in the half, you're up 13.
Yes.
You can set Redfern out for the remainder of the half.
Yeah, and that's what him being out early in the year has helped, where you can do that more freely because this team knows how to play, with him on the floor and definitely without him because they had to go through that first half of the season.
Here's Stover into the lane, finds Fleming for 3, got it. It rattled in, looked like it was going to pop out, and it stayed down as Fleming knocks down the 3 ball from the corner. Very exciting game, high-scoring game here in this first half.
And if you're Beckley, you don't want to rush anything offensively here. You want to, run your sets, take what the defense gives you.
Well, Hawthorne and Clary can be their creators as Dillon gets into the lane. And like you said, you don't have to be in a hurry. We're under 2 minutes for the half. Right down the lane, Hawthorne puts up a shot off the glass, up and in. As we've said all year, Eric, that's when Hawthorne's at his best, when he slashes and drives to the basket.
I love his game when that happens. And a nice steal by Clary.
Turnover. Hawthorne up and in.
14 points for Zion Hawthorne in this first half, and that's what he averages for the season. So definitely a good half of basketball.
This equals the largest lead of the game. Here's Stover for 3, and he hits it.
And Gavin Stover, 2 big-time threes. He hit a big one in the first. Every time that Beckley gets on a run, you have to answer back, and Gavin Stover did just that.
Coming up on the final minute here of the first half. And, you can be a little aggressive as Beckley turns it over because, you look here, Princeton has not committed a foul this second quarter, and Beckley's only committed 1.
Yeah.
So you can be a little aggressive as we watch this last play here, the steal.
Off of the defense becoming offense, and a good job by Hawthorne getting it up and in.
So we're under a minute for the half.
Big possession here, big possession.
Princeton trying to get it to single digits. They can do that if they can score in this possession. A lot of contact, no whistle. Stover, 3, not there. Battle for the rebound. Walton comes down with it.
Walton has been a man on the glass. I hate to keep using that term, but a couple of games, Beckley really got beat bad.
Clary from the baseline, able to score. If you're Princeton now, I think I would hold it for the final shot. I don't think I want Beckley to have another possession. A 48-point half. Fleming will dial it up for 3. Doesn't go. Battle for the rebound. Sarton comes out of there with it off the window, up and in. Nice play. Sarton's had an outstanding first half for Princeton. Final 8 seconds of the half.
Yeah, 13 for Sarton here.
If Princeton, I would foul, would let him get a shot off. Clary's got to take it. You don't want to foul him like that.
Shooting 3.
And it'll be 3 shots with no time left. Princeton had not committed a foul the whole quarter until that. And what you want to do is a foul, but foul before he shot the ball.
And Clary, does he not understand that? Yeah, he does. But I always say this, and I want you to answer this. And a lot of our listeners might think it's different. I'm telling you, this is the hardest 3. This is the hardest shots to make when you're out there by yourself and, nobody on the lane.
Well, first of all, they need to get the red off the board, and that's what assistant coach Eric Dillon is saying. That's a distraction with the shot clock and the backboard aligned in red. They're going to put some more time back, and that's why players will be on the line. 0.2. But let's say if you're Princeton, you haven't committed a foul the whole quarter, and you should have fouled the minute he got the ball, not when he went to shoot. And I'm sure the Princeton coaching staff was hollering foul, but not like that.
Yeah,
so,
and I think that was whistled on Beasley, Britt Beasley.
Yeah. So Clary, as you mentioned, percentage-wise, is Beckley's best free throw shooter. At 85%, will get 3 free throws, and the first one's good. So Beckley with an opportunity to get half a C note here in the first half.
And with an opportunity to have 3 players in double figures in the first half.
As they rain threes, by far the best half of the season. Second free throw, there's 50 right there. And if he can hit this will equal the biggest lead of the first half at 14. Coming up at halftime, we'll recap the first half. We'll go inside the numbers. Clary set. Third free throw, he doesn't go. He made 1 of 2, and it doesn't count. They wave it off. It looked like it was good.
Yeah.
And they wave it off. So they don't count the putback on the missed free throw, and Beckley will take a 13-point lead into the locker room as Beckley puts up 50 at the break. It's Beckley 50, Princeton 37. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Need a proven business leader who knows how to get things done for Southern West Virginia. We need a leader who will stand up and fight and defend our family values. We need a leader who believes in individual freedoms. We need a leader to represent us who understands what being a proud West Virginian is all about. We need a conservative Republican in the state Senate. So on May 14th, vote for Brian Helton because he'll always show up and fight for us.
Midstate Ford, where every deal is a Big John deal. Northside Drive, Route 19 in Summersville. Come see why people from all over the great state of West Virginia are making the drive to Summersville. Incredible deals on brand new Fords. The state's guaranteed lowest price on brand new F-150s, Super Duties, and more. Plus incredible service after the sale at Midstate Ford. Northside Drive, right off of Route 19 in Summersville. Online anytime at midstatefordwv.com.
And we welcome you back to the Raleigh County Convention Center with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry, Andrew Boland producing and directing, Jackie Moon on camera. At the break, Princeton in front, 50-37. We'll recap the first half. Recapping the first half is brought to you by Indoor Air. Indoor Air, you're a man, a dealer for all your heating and cooling needs. You can call up Indoor Air at 304-890-2212. Also, recapping the first half is brought to you by Infinity Coal Company. Infinity Coal offers no premium, no deductible health insurance with dental and vision coverage. They also offer a company-paid life insurance, prescription drug coverage, and a company-matching 401k plan. Well, Princeton scored the first bucket of the game, got up 2-0. Then back and forth they went. And then Beckley had a nice little run that took the lead out to 15-6. Then Beckley led 25-11, which is 14, which was the biggest lead of the first half on a couple occasions. Princeton cut into that lead, made it 27-19, and at the end of the quarter, Beckley led 29-20. Into the second half, Beckley's lead was 35-25, and they still may check the scoreboard because as Eric has in his book and as I have in my running score, we think Princeton should only have 36 points, not 37.
Well, they scored 20 points in the first quarter, Princeton, 16 in that quarter.
So we're going to figure that out. But for the moment, it's 50-37. Beckley's lead was then 40-29. Beckley got a lead up to 14 again at 46-32. Like I said, was the biggest lead of the first half on a couple occasions. And at the break right now, it's 50-37, and that's what we're going to go with until we hear otherwise. So officially, Beckley's up 50-37. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go inside the numbers, and we'll do that on the other end of this break here on Video Productions.
Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 2723 Old Bluefield Road in Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia's student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Unlock the money already in your home at City National Bank. Consolidate loans or fund your next big project with a home equity line of credit with a great low intro rate. Visit your local branch to get started. City National Bank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Learn more at homeequity.bankatcity.com.
We need a proven business leader who knows how to get things done for Southern West Virginia. We need a leader who will stand up and fight and defend our family values. We need a leader who believes in individual freedoms. We need a leader to represent us who understands what being a proud West Virginian is all about. We need a conservative Republican in the state Senate. So on May 14th, vote for Brian Helton, because he'll always show up and fight for us.
Compliance helped me lose 50 pounds by freeing up tasks like payroll, HR, and bookkeeping. I'm now free to do what I want.
With compliance, you can do what you want to do. Compliance, we've got your back office.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
And we welcome you back to the Raleigh County Convention Center. And Eric, before we get into Inside the Numbers, got some house cleaning to do. During the break, we checked with the official score, and they say the score is correct, 50-37. We have the video that says that one of those shots they called a 3 was a 2, but we can't argue that that's the score. And I got an update on the other half of the region in Section 1 that I'm told that South Charleston has a 9-point lead on George Washington in the final minute and a half of that one, and that would be a big shocker if that's the case. So anyway, we're going to go inside the numbers, and inside the numbers of the first half are brought to you by Frobel for Judge. As I mentioned, the numbers are brought to you by Michael Frobel, candidate for circuit judge in the 2nd Division. Michael's a proud supporter of student athletes in Raleigh County and would be proud to serve you as judge. So, Eric, you have all the numbers of the first half.
Yeah, and Beckley, the numbers to the first half reflect the score, 50-37. Princeton shot the ball really well, and they scored by quarters. They scored 20 in the first quarter, Princeton did, 17 in the second period. And usually if you do that, you're going to be in good shape. But they find themselves down 13 points because Beckley scored 29 points in the first and 21 in the second. And Maris, just balance for Beckley. Elijah Redfern, Zion Hawthorne leads the way, with 14. Elijah Redfern has 12. Kobe Dillon has 9. Preston Clary has 9. And Jalen Walton has 4 and really done a great job on the glass. And if you're Princeton, you need some help for Nick Fleming and Keon Sarton, because Sarton has 13, is really filling up the box score, hit a 3 that they said was a 3, and the rest 2s, and is 1 of 2 at the free throw line. And Nick Fleming came to play in the first half. He has 9.
Well, Eric, I would say this, as well as Beckley shot in that first half and the way they played defense, and they played well enough in that first half to almost be ahead against anybody in West Virginia the way they played that first half.
You know, it's funny. I'm looking through the scores around the state. If you look, Spring Mills, who's the number 1 team in the state in the rankings or whatever, they're up at the end of 3, 36-27. But you know how Hedgesville plays. And if you look at the George Washington game, it was at the end of 3, it was 34-22 South Charleston. So you're talking about some what you're saying is if they shoot like that and play defense like that, they can be in the game with anybody.
Well, for Beckley to be successful, they got to control the pace, and what does that is defense. We're going to have to take one final break, come back, get you ready for the second half. Beckley up 13, 50-37 here on Video Productions.
Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
At Access Health, we believe there's a difference between care and caring. We know you by name, and our 26 locations keep you healthy so that you can do the things that truly matter.
You called it a 3?
But it was a 2.
I didn't even see it. It was a 2.
It was a 2.
Hey, but it's all right.
Are we ready?
You give me 1 minute, I will get this back up. I am working on it. I don't know what happened. I got this big error code. I didn't do anything.
Just get us on for the hoop game. There we go.
Yeah. That's why you got to win. Oh, the last 2-minute report? That don't do me no good.
Call it like we own.
Yeah, we're going to call the game, Andrew, just like we're on. And then when we come on, we'll be on. Ready to start the second half, and Princeton will have the first possession of the second half. And we've got confirmation, Eric, that it is a 50-37, 13-point Beckley lead.
And the ball reset the shot clock.
Ball kicked out of bounds. Now, there was some discussion there at halftime on the missed free throw by Clary, but it was only 0.2. And
it says you need 0.3.
Right, so that was a great call by the officials, and that's why the basket
I thought they was all over that.
Denying the pass inside.
Another good half-court set. Got away. No, he didn't. I thought he got away with it.
So they turn it over. So Princeton's first possession of the second half, they turn it over. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas, AB Andrew Boland producing and directing, Jackie Moon on camera. Got a pretty good crowd here tonight, and a very fever pitch crowd, as you would expect in a sectional championship game. Hawthorne drives the baseline, finds Walton for the easy basket. Biggest lead of the game right here at 15. That was a nice cut by Walton right down the lane to catch that pass and lay it up and in. Drive into the lane for Princeton. Here's a 3. That's too strong. That 3 by Beasley. And Kobe Dillon comes out of there with a loose ball.
And good decision right there. Numbers by Kobe Dillon. No numbers. Run some offense. And this is just good, smart basketball.
Great low post position by Walton. He turns around. He was about 2 feet from the basket. He just backed Fleming down. Nice entry pass by Redfern. And Walton able to shoot and score. Biggest lead of the game right here. A minute and a half into the second half. We'll try to keep you up to date with the Georgia-Washington-South Charleston game. As Sarton fakes a 3, puts it on the deck. South Charleston was ahead, and we were told it was about 3.5 minutes to go. South Charleston was up 9. Stover puts up the shot. Walton clears the rebound. The South Charleston's been playing their best basketball right now.
And that's when you want to play it. And, you know, a George Washington team, if they do lose, they know they're never out of it because they can come anywhere, Princeton or Beckley, and get a win on the road.
Kobe Dillon will draw the foul, and he'll get to the line. And he'll shoot a pair.
And that was going to be whistled on Sarton. That would be the team's first.
And Kobe Dillon knocks down the first of 2.
And that free throw gets Kobe Dillon into double figures. So right now you have 3 of the 4 starters in double figures.
And Kobe Dillon makes them both. He's an 83% free throw shooter and biggest lead of the game right here. In fact, Princeton has yet to score. Beckley's out of the locker room on a 6-0 run. Have taken that 13-point halftime lead and stretched it out to 19. And I think this is a real danger zone, Eric, for Princeton.
Pretty close to a charge, but play on.
I think the officials done a good job. There's been some contact, and they've let him play. Beckley gets a steal. The difference, Beckley's defense, and Redfern attacks the basket, lays it in with the left hand. An 8-0 run for Beckley out of the locker room. But to think about it, as hot and as good as Beckley shot the ball, Eric, it's been their defense that set the tone.
Defense becoming offense, and they need that intensity all the way through. It's good defense there by Preston Clary on
Sarton.
On Sarton.
Yeah, Clary blocked the shot. Hawthorne on the deck. Attacks the basket, lays it up and in.
That's his ball game right there.
And Princeton needs a timeout. It's a 10-0 Beckley run here in the first part of this second half. And it'll be a full timeout. 4:59 remaining here in the third. It's Beckley 60, Princeton 37. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton. Or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
The main goal of our firm is to provide the best client experience possible.
I want my clients to believe that they've experienced fairness. Then finally, I want them to know that they got a friend. I'm not in the business of running off business, but I'm in the business of being honest.
At the end of the day and at the end of the case, I want the client to know that they didn't leave anything on the table, to feel without doubt that they made the right decision to hire this firm.
We welcome you back to Beckley with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. Jackie Moon on camera. Andrew Boland producing and directing. And Eric out of the locker room. It was 50-37, and Beckley has scored the first 10. And they're going to make it really tough for Princeton on a 10-0 run to start this second half. They've taken that 13-point lead out to a 23-point lead.
Yeah, and all fueled by this full court pressure and making shots and getting into the defense.
And what this full court pressure does, even when they don't get steals, it just forces the team, no matter who they're playing, to play a lot faster than teams want to play. And also, I thought early in the game, it forced Princeton to shoot a lot of quick shots when they broke pressure, as Beckley gets a steal.
Might be a slam dunk here.
Redfern goes in, slam dunk. It's a 12-0 Beckley run out of the locker room. We're almost halfway in, and Princeton has been stuck on 37 going back into the second quarter.
And I just saw a little flash of the coach Dave Barksdale. They were smacking the floor on defense, man, and that's what this Beckley program's been built on through Coach Barksdale and Ron Kidd, defense.
Sarton's three is not close, and Beckley back on the attack. We're halfway through this third quarter, and Beckley's on a 12-0 run. Clary in the corner for three, in and out, heartbreak. That was halfway down, and coming out of there with the rebound is Princeton's Gavin Brown.
Well, I think the roof might have came off the Raleigh Convention Center if that shot had gone in.
Fleming from 15. It's contested, doesn't go. Sarton with an offensive rebound. He'll draw the foul by Walton. I beg your pardon, it's not Fleming. It's not Sarton, but it is Neely. And we saw Neely play really good earlier in the year, Eric. He's 6'4".
Okay, we're doing this replay right here. I guess the crowd needs to see that flush by Elijah Redfern, but continue what you were saying with
Neely. I was saying it's Neely, his first action. I said, you and I, when we did Princeton games earlier in the year, played really good. Yeah.
Against Huntington, if you can remember, I think he had 17 points.
Huntington and Wyoming East. He played well. As Nazar King will check into the Beckley lineup. So that's the first points of this half for Princeton. They've still not gotten a field goal. So Beckley had a 12-0 run coming out of the locker room, and now Princeton able to break that run with Neely's free throw. as he got them both.
Yeah, good-looking player. Now, that's one I can't figure out. You go figure why that kid
Why
has
he
not
hadn't
been
played
in the
until
contest.
now. Yeah.
Yes.
6'4" sophomore